And welcome back to the hottest marriage show in our neighborhood. It's I, John D. and
Kanika,
aka and Too Much Podcast, Rescripting the culture, one conversation at a time.
I felt like we haven't done that in a long time. I couldn't even say my name. Kanika.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
What was that?
It was a glitch in our system. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
You're getting toward the end of the school year.
Yes, I'm excited. You know why?
Because you get a break.
I do.
I don't get a break.
You do?
These are one of the, the great things about being in the educational system.
Yes. And but I got summer school, so I don't really have a break.
Yeah.
And it's like a full day. It's like 7:30 to 3.
For real?
No lie.
4 days a week, though.
Yeah. So just what? That's still.
Yeah, whatever. I would still be working, so same.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to like trying to read a couple extra books and prepare my mindset and becoming a better teacher for next school year.
Already planning for next year, huh? That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited because I've never done this.
Last year I thought, well, no. Was it over break? You were like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and I still didn't do as much as I could have, but because I didn't know how to do it. Mm-hmm. And now I have a better routine. I know what I'm looking for. So yeah, the kids next year, they're going to be happy.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
Happier.
Oh, yeah.
And more successful in the math.
I hope so.
Oh, no, I can almost guarantee it. I just feel really confident about it.
Okay.
So what's on your brain?
Okay, so listening to my interrogations today, I came across a conversation a case in which it drew me to a lot of different things that we used to deal with in Georgia. So I wanted to ask you a question. So there was a family in Georgia. The father had done football all his life. You know how Georgia can be. And he had 2 sons, and he had pushed his first son into going to school for football. And that son, he didn't really care for football, even though he was good at it. And so after the second year, he had decided he wasn't going to go to school for that anymore. He had 4.0. He said it was so stressful to be an athlete and to have a political science major and get a 4.0, focusing on, he was like, there are days that I wouldn't sleep because I was trying to be great at being in football for my dad, but I wanted to be great at what I wanted to do too, right? Mm-hmm. And so he ends up taking a stand after the second year. He was like, I'm coming home. And he said he was going to go to a different school and they were going to give him a full ride. And so his parents were like, okay, well, we'll give you, money to kind of help you so you don't have to work or whatever. But the dad was kind of mad about him not, playing anymore. Mm-hmm. And he said that summer between him leaving the school he went to school for football and going to the other one, that whole summer his dad never spoke to him, never looked him in the eye. And he said when he went to the other school, he was happy. He was just focused on his major, but all of the internships and the opportunities were back in Atlanta. He was in Valdosta or something. So he decided to transfer again to another school in Georgia. In Atlanta, so that he could do whatever he wanted to do. Well, that's close to where he lived at home. So, but he would have to pay for this college, pay for tuition. And so the parents were like, you're going to have to pay your tuition. So it's like $11,000 or whatever. And they told him that they were going to help him. But then they started, they just gave him $500. He was like, oh, that's cool, something, right? So he's stressed out. Meanwhile, he's going through all of this stuff. He has a younger brother, maybe 3 years younger. He was pushed to play football as well. He played a little bit, but he was really more into the band. And so his dad kind of acted like he didn't even exist.
Dang.
Right. And so it was a lot of just dismissing them as people because they didn't do what he wanted them to do. Now, just to give y'all a little bit of an idea of how it is, those who don't live in Georgia, I remember Dallas was 3. And we were like, we're going to put him in flag football. Look, it was kids that had already been trained. They were like, what's the thing when you're running, you got a parachute behind you or something? 3-year-olds. They were running drills for these 3-year-olds that I was like, what in the world? And Dallas was a real kid 3-year-old. So he was looking like, I I ain't trying to do all this organized stuff. You turn around, Dallas is over here on the baseball field playing with a cone. He took a cone off the field, went to the baseball field, started playing. So
he was looking for butterflies.
Hey, they raise these kids up in Georgia like they're serious about it, right?
For sure.
So it ends up that the kids, and I haven't listened to the whole thing, but the youngest one appears to be the one that really thought everything about what they wanted to do. They were going to kill the parents. And like, they both were on their edge when it came to their parents. The younger one was like, look, they'll text him and be like, we're going to be gone for the weekend. And they'll just be gone for like 4 days. And he's 16, 17 at home by himself. And the older brother was like, it was just them against the parents, or them coexisting with the parents, but not really. And I guess they just reached some type of breaking point, and they're like, look, this is what we're about to do. Well, it didn't happen. The parents survived. Now, I haven't watched the end of it, but I saw in the comments that when it all came down to it, the parents didn't press charges because that's their kids.
Of course.
They're their kids.
That would be crazy.
Right. But literally, the dad got beat up and he was in the hospital. They have a gun.
Beat up by who?
By the sons. And I really think the younger son, the mother, when they subdued the father, then they're like, where's mom at? And then they're running through the house trying to find her. She's on phone with the police. And so in the end, I guess I still want to listen because I want to know what the parents had to say. But it makes me think about when people are extreme and pushing their kids into directions that the kids aren't really interested in. I mean, this is an extreme case, but like if you set a tone or an idea of where you want your kids to go, and when they don't follow it, you completely like remove yourself as a support in a way, and then they turn on you. I feel like some people will talk about how, that's your mama, that's your dad, you can't ever, you always gotta love them, you gotta respect, yeah. And I'm not saying you gotta kill them, but I'm saying if someone gets to their edge and then they're like, I need to remove myself from this relationship, however they choose to do it. There's so many people that still think in the old sense of that's your parent, so you still gotta be da 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 da. But the new way of living now is if you're not if you're not adding positively to my life, then it's okay for me to let you go. And for parents who have certain expectations or put their kids on a path and the child chooses to go in the other direction, like, what is that? I don't know. How would you feel? I know we wouldn't go to the extreme of saying, then I'm not going to support you. Do you feel like your dad had a certain path for you? Like, if you hadn't gone to college, because I know he made a comment before about you in college, talking about my son, the whatever senior. Like, if you hadn't gone to college, what do you think your family would have felt? And even in your Korean family, they felt like there was a certain expectation of you.
Well, they thought I was smart. But I think the black side, they didn't know what I was capable of. I don't think so. Like, you could always say your kids go to college, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my head, that was the bare minimum. But if I didn't go, I would have had to go to the service, or I had to get a job.
When you say I would have had to.
Yeah, because he said that I had to go to college or go to the service or get a... Yeah, I guess he never tried to kick me out either. But he said I had to do something.
You had to be there. You just had to be doing it.
Yeah, but college was the most attractive out of all of the options. And, he painted this picture, if I did this, that I would get that. But he kind of made it seem like where we are now is what I was supposed to get by graduating from college. And I didn't know that it's a process to get, anywhere. But even if I made a lot of money or way more money, it wasn't going to look like this, because that would have been just giving me I would have blown it. But yeah, there was no expectation. But in my head, that was the only option of me being able to live the way that I thought I could live.
On your Korean side of the family, what do you think?
I don't know. Like, I didn't know too much other than the fact that, my mother would say something after I got older. They thought that I would be a doctor or I would become a business owner because I didn't want to work for anybody. So they thought I would be more so like that. You know, I was already in a limited mindset in the very beginning because I was comfortable with going to work for somebody. You know, I was just like, look, I'm going to just put in this work. I'm going to retire at 65. And then, you know, as you move through life, you like, life was going real fast in the beginning, but getting to the end, like thinking about it never came up. But then like, as you get older, it's like, what do you want it to look like? So now it's like, you know, like, what could I give? Like, what could I have done differently other than go to college? Other than working hard. You know, I couldn't see myself really being in the service. Like, not at all, other than the fact that I considered going to it when I couldn't get a job after I graduated from college.
I mean, the whole idea of you wouldn't want to work for anybody, but you're going to go somewhere they order every moment of your day around, that's the two ends of the spectrum. So your dad was like, figure it out, but your current family didn't feel like that was who you were.
But yeah, I mean, no, they didn't tell me what to do either, though.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it seemed like they would have pulled you in and been like, come work here and figure this part out. But that really wasn't your interest either.
Yeah, that was, college, to me, I was told college was going to show me the promised land. So at least the idea that I thought it was promised land. Now I see what it was for, you know, where it was necessary for our family to be able to, for us to be able to know how to put them in the best positions.
Yeah.
What?
No. There were never any expectations placed on me except to go to college. I don't think that anybody talked to me about anything but that. But my dad, he got his GED like later in life when I was like maybe 4th or 5th grade. So to him, the education part was something he really missed out on. He was smart, but he didn't have the foundation to be able to go much further beyond where he did. So, but there were no expectations placed on me. I don't necessarily know if that's good, though. I don't know if it was good that somebody that they were like, you know, just do you. I mean,
I think if you think about it, you would like to be guided, you know, even if there was no expectation, you're like, look, you should consider this and go this, like, you know, it is kind of scary that you just kind of found your way.
Yeah, I know. You know, that's one of the things, and I probably said this before, we lack so much mentorship and guidance. Like, even when it's not your parent, a friend of a parent, a cousin, somebody. Because even if, like, your parents may have friends that are kind of on the same level, but we usually have family members. There'll be some random family member sitting out somewhere that went in a whole different direction and was successful, and we don't tap into any of that type of stuff. Like, it's not even a thought, I don't think.
But I don't think that I had any of my family that looked like what I wanted to be. Mm. So whatever their success was, I wasn't mature enough to be able to say, I can use some of their experience along my journey. It was like, I don't want to do it that way.
Do you ever think about your kids in your family and reaching out to them because they don't know to seek out the guidance? Do you feel like it's our responsibility that we're supposed to be finding these kids and helping them?
So I've thought about that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because that's what I wanted. I wanted somebody to do that for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what it sounds like for somebody to say, I'm glad he reached out, you know, because it's almost like when you go out and you do it, you want somebody to be grateful as heck that you reached out. Okay, what do you want me to do? Like, okay, I'll do this. But it doesn't look like that. You got to create the relationship. It's got to be worthwhile to you. Like, it's got to it's almost got to be like, you know, there's no expectation. Mm-hmm. You have this information. But overall, you just want to see them win. It's not like I'm going to tell you what to do and you go do it. It's like I got to create a relationship where I'm influenced by what you're doing and I ask questions.
Right. But then they got to see you.
No, I get it.
They got to know what's going on.
But I was just saying, like, in reference, what I wanted somebody to reach out to me, but what was it supposed to look like? Somebody was going to have to really, you know, they was going to have to go out their way to be my mentor.
Well, and then the other thing is like, who in our family really knows what any of us do? Nobody really, even if a kid was interested and whatever we were doing.
Oh no, people be looking for me for education. Oh, they find.
Oh yeah, because you talk about education all the time. That's true. But it's like I have in my family, you got people who do real estate, people who do physical therapy, people who do education. We got a firefighter. We got a number of things, you know what I'm saying? With a doctor of nursing. We got all kinds of stuff in there. But nobody knows what anybody is doing to be able to say, hey, I'm interested in that. Could you?
But I think that just by you saying that just says that there's a missing component where your family is supposed to benefit from knowing everything you just said. So it just sounds like you're going to have to create some type of something for other people to benefit from what you just told everybody else that you have. Because that's dope. Like what?
I didn't mean it like that.
No, I'm saying what kid would want to grow up with that many different opportunities under one family?
Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing is, I remember we used to think that way about when we graduated. The friends we graduated with, we knew engineers and business owners and people in social work and therapy and all this other stuff. And we're like, if you ever wanted to know anything, you know, just telling our kids, stay in Dallas, like, if they're interested in something, well, you know, your godmother does this, or you know, your godfather does that, whatever. One thing is, I guess none of them really do what they're interested in. I feel like Jamaica does I think they would love to meet up, like, see what Jamaica does, but we don't make those connections either. I don't know if we're supposed to, though. How much of it is for us to link them and actively do it because we know they don't know how, and maybe to teach them how to do that network and utilize the network they have? And how much is it you want to see if they have that desire of their own? It's that, you know, if you ain't got no grind in you, but if you don't know that you got to grind because you been living a privileged life a little bit, how do you do that? How do you even know to do that?
Yeah, I think what we would like from them is to be like, they're the gifted one that says, you know, I need this, but I think that they're already like that. We probably just need to do a little more. And when I say that, I mean, like, they've kind of led us to this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At all.
So we like it.
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I just said, like, if we knew it, we would do it. But we're in a new place too. Like, this is all new for us. You know, we can say what we would do, but we're kind of like learning on the go. Mm-hmm. First time having these age kids at today, you know, so we're trying to figure it out too.
You're right. Yeah, I'm coming up with a whole bunch of bright ideas and then I don't have no follow through though, but
regardless, I mean, who's to say they were going to work and how much effort it was going to take? What else was going to be handicapped by you putting in that time, and it may not work. So it's like, it's still a gamble. Mm-hmm. And, you know, sometimes if it's too much of a gamble, you would just say, you know, we've been doing it this way. We're going to just roll out this. And it's for your own sanity too.
Yeah.
So I'm not tripping on things that we don't do, just as long as we continue to keep finding things to like improve. We can't do them all.
Yeah.
That would burn us out. We would become different people, and we don't want to become different people.
Yeah.
For real. We again, they're privileged. So it's like, we have to give them.
I used to hate hearing that word too. People being privileged. But yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I mean, at some point, they're going to have to like struggle where they're going to find the growth in it, you know, and we can't save them from that struggle, because then it's going to be depression. Like, no, you just failed because you're supposed to until, you know, so it's like, how can we let them know that's just a part of life? Like, it helps you become a better person, and it'll help you on your next goal, because, you know, like, there's a way around it, you know? So it's like, how can we give them that process versus, you know, they just crumble like, okay, I'm gonna just call my parent.
Do you feel like you ever had a set path that you wanted your kids on?
Yeah, I just wanted them to be happy, and I wanted them to be able to believe that they could call us at any time to give them the best information. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I didn't care what they did. I'm so happy with the type of people that they are. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I didn't care. I just didn't want them to hurt people.
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't even, like, honestly, they could have been bots.
Bots. Describe bots to me again.
people to just kind of do what they do every day. It's like the same old, the groundhogs, they not working harder to create a different result. Things like, this works. I'm comfortable with this. Nobody's bothering me. I'm going to just keep this, but nothing's going to change. But they'll always complain about something not changing.
I'm a bot.
Like most
by definition.
You're so silly. No, but that's what, like, I was comfortable with it. But now, like, that I've learned how to, like, work to create something different, I feel like they'll get that also. So I don't think they'll complain too much. And I'll say this, like, I remember complaining. Not complaining anymore let me know that there was so many other things I could have been doing outside of complaining. Like, anything that happens bad, if you feel like, okay, this happened because it was supposed to, what was I supposed to get from it? And then you just keep it moving. And then you're just like, okay, I learned something. Then in your head, you be like, okay, today was a productive day. I learned something from this mistake, because if I did have that information before, it would have never happened. So you can't beat yourself up for not knowing.
Fair.
Yeah, for real. So as far as now, like, I don't think they'll be bots. I just, I think they'll enjoy life a lot earlier than we did. I think right now they're just trying to figure that piece out. Like what is it? Like, what's happy? Because I don't think they know that yet. They don't know they've been happy their whole life. It's like, you can have parts where you're jubilant, but there's this other side that's just real rocky that you haven't had a lot of, that a lot of people know about this.
Yeah.
But if you don't know about this, you think that my life could have been way better. You're right. It could have been way better.
You just don't know that you're not rock bottom.
You're not. You don't know that.
You're not. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you on that part. But I mean, I think of that as a small triumph on our end.
Well, we hope, because, I think that their transition to the next level may be quicker than ours, but it could be really rocky along the way getting there. And then you don't want to see them hurt. And you're like,
I don't like when they face adversity.
You don't. You really don't.
I don't. But I understand that it's necessary, though.
Yeah.
I just want it to be like contained adversity, maybe a little small little package.
For sure. You're so silly.
Sprinkle a little.
Yeah, you real picky when it comes to their adversity.
Yeah, because I mean, and I take that as, it's just that I'm ready to, the meaningless, and it's not meaningless. I guess to me, it's like the senseless struggle. I don't want them to have that. Like, when they struggle, I want it to be, it's going to provide some type of fruitful end. And sometimes I feel like their struggle that they have, that it's like, what is this really for, other than to give them a halfway path to their villain story? Like, I don't even really know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like it's some senseless stuff and I don't want that for them. And I'll be willing to fight for that. And it really frustrates me now, because they're at an age where even they understand that I'm not supposed to do everything. I'm not supposed to solve everything.
Yeah.
But I don't like that either. It's a powerlessness about it, that as a mother, as the parent, and even as somebody who knows that there's so many more things that are going to be harder as they get along in their life, that I want them to save up their energy for. But you kind of need the little battles, the little dumb battles, to get you ready and, train you up for the real stuff. I don't really know how I feel about it. I just know that I am. I tend to want to fight the battles for them. But I think that I want to preserve them for, exerting that energy somewhere where it's really, really going to count for them. But if they don't even know how to fight the little battles, how are they going to learn how to fight the big ones, right?
Yeah, sure. We got to live and learn, right?
She's starting up very coloring cook.
No.
I love them.
But anybody want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
The parents who are trying to fight the battle. Yeah, we got to put our swords down just a little bit.
Yeah, that's true, if they're going to grow.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to you guys. Y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action, or that action will get after you. Be great on purpose.